Freedom fighters, I'm back with another one. Well, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I sure did. And I hope the audio is good in this video and you can hear me alright, because I'm coming to you from the van down by the river. More like a van parked behind the shopping center. But one can dream. I wish I was still down by the river. But, yeah, so this holiday season I was trying to kind of step away from the politics and all the riffraff and stay away from social media and stuff like that. But, you know, I still caught a couple clips here and there of some stuff, and I figured I'd just talk about that. And a genuine, general theme I was seeing was a lot of the we're winning kind of idea or mindset. And, you know, Trump is pretty much the start of this. He's the one who did the, you know, oh, we're going to win so much, you're going to get tired of winning. And, you know, I guess the kind of media and the people that I follow are not in that crowd. You know, we're the black-pilled crowd or the doom and gloom crowd, whatever you want to call us. But, I said, you know, in light of the holidays, you know, let's keep it light, and I'll check out some of these more, moderate or, you know, bright thinking individuals, not necessarily bright, but, you know, light-hearted, light-minded individuals, and check out some of their content. And boy, oh boy, is it eye-opening, you know, the hopium that these people are smoking on. And, you know, we talked about it before in the Q-tard video and, you know, the plan and everything like that. But, you know, these people are talking about some insane stuff nowadays, and, you know, I'll just jump right to the most craziest and insane theory they're pushing now. I don't know if you guys know who Dr. Jan Halper is, but she was on some kind of news show or doing some kind of interview, and I can't remember if she was part of, like, some Trump administration position or something, where she came from. But she was giving this interview and saying that Trump created Space Force for a reason, and that they gathered all this, you know, information, and they have the real election results and all this, and it's all about to come out and all that stuff. And, you know, you could just chalk it up to, like, okay, it's some crazy conspiracy theory this lady made up or something. But then Trump actually retruthed it and posted it. So, you know, that sent the internet ablaze, and they were like, you know, oh, wow, look at this. So I went to check out her page the other day, and her newest theory, the newest thing that the Q-tards are pushing, is that the open border was the plan all along, and that Trump passed the open border on to Biden because he knew he was going to let all these people in, and that all the illegal fighting age males coming across the border in record numbers of millions upon millions, displacing populations in these cities and everything, they're actually all a part of the plan all along. And they're fighting on behalf of America. And they're fighting for you in the American dream, is now what they're pushing. So, you know, we're winning. You know, so much winning. Are you tired of winning yet? You know, all the illegals are actually here to save you. You know, what a world, man. I mean, what these people are smoking on, I don't even know, but pass me some of that hopium, man, because that is some strong stuff right there. But, yeah, I mean, this kind of like we're winning mantra. I kind of wanted to talk about it for a while, and, you know, I see a lot of channels doing this, and a lot of, you know, politicians, or not even necessarily politicians, but pundits and people who talk politics. And Tim Pool is another one who pushes this idea. I mean, go through his channel right now and, you know, look through his videos. I don't know how frequently he does it, but it seems like every other week or so I see a video of his posted. You know, this happened, or so-and-so happened, and we're winning. The right is winning. And recently, the video that I last saw of his was Brett Cooper, and I can't even remember who's making the movie, but she's going to be casted as the new Snow White. And he's like, right-wing Brett Cooper is getting casted as the new Snow White. We're winning the culture war. And it's like, no. The fact that you have to step away from Hollywood because you've been outcasted and you have to make your low-budget, subpar version of a film because they will no longer have Snow White as a white person, you've lost the culture war. But somehow they spin this around as like, oh, we're winning. I mean, it's amazing the way these people think, and they can't realize that you've lost. And you better be doing something soon and quick to flip the tables on this thing. You know, and recently we just had the Dublin riots the other night. And, you know, they're starting to realize, like, gaslight us harder. And tell us that we're winning and all the illegals and everyone's here to fight for us. You know, it's a freaking joke. And these people are just, like I said, man, they must be smoking on something really strong. And this Q-tard hopium has the masses and, you know, this dazed charm. It's really unbelievable. You know, and then I don't think I even talked about the guy in L.A. who lost his CCW permit yet. But I'm sure you heard about it. It's been all over the place from the NRA website, and Coleon Noir did something on it. He's been on Fox News. He's been giving interviews and all this stuff. And I'll try to post a link of that interview. But, I mean, you could tell the way this guy is speaking that, you know, he has no clue what he's talking about. And it just embodies the everyday American sheep. And, you know, you should hear the buzzwords he uses in these interviews. Like, well, California took away my right to carry, and they're the ones who granted me my rights. They granted me my permit. Well, that's the mistake you first made, is asking permission from government to be free. And then he's like, well, you know, and then I defended myself and my family. And again, there is no defense as a white man in America, and especially in California. So that's your first mistake you made. But, you know, and it goes back to a video I just recently made called Paying for Freedom. So supposedly this guy is like some tech CEO, or he works in the tech field or something like that. So the dude's like up in $1 million mansion in LA. He's got some SUV in his driveway. I can't remember. I looked it up or something. I think it's like $60,000 or $80,000 SUV. I mean, the dude's making bank. So yeah, again, your normal LA resident isn't, you know, pistol packing, you know, superhero over there. It's just a guy who said, you know, he's like, I'm trying to take care of my wife and my kids, you know, my family. And he has the means, so he asks permission and pays for his freedom. And then he gets surprised when it gets taken away. And, you know, there was a recent video, too. I can't remember who it was from, if it was, like, Travis at the Prepare Homestead, or it might have been the other guy. I forget his name, or his channel's, like, An American Homestead or something like that. And he did a video saying registration leads to confiscation. And we all know that. But this wasn't even about firearms. This was about chickens. And I can't remember where this was at, but some county said, well, we need to know who has the chickens and stuff like that, because this is causing a nuisance, and, you know, the smell, and it's drawing coyotes and all that. And, you know, we need you to register them and pay some extra permit or something to have chickens. Well, then it turns out that they're like, no, actually, they voted in the town hall that we're just going to, no more chickens are allowed. So then they went on whoever registered for the permits to go confiscate their chickens, or give them a notice they have to get rid of their chickens in so-and-so amount of days. So, I mean, you already know the playbook. You know how this goes. And, you know, everyone's trying to become the law-abiding citizen. I did a video about that, too. I call him Mr. Rogers. You know, and if you're not doing everything. You got to be a crystal clean, sparkling example of a citizen in order to have your rights. Otherwise, you can't be free. That's not what your founding fathers said. They weren't law-abiding citizens. They didn't bend the knee. They didn't beg on their knees to the redcoats and to the king and say, please, can we be free? They just did it anyway. And they were willing to die for that freedom. And we don't have that anymore. Because everyone's a coward, everyone's a sheep, and they just go along to get along. And I did that video too. I said, it seems like everyone just wants to run the hamster wheel and go in circles and circles and, do nothing about it and just keep living the slave life. For the life of me, I don't get it, but, it is what it is. But, yeah, that's a whole bunch of winning for you. I mean, are you tired of winning too much yet? Is that too much winning for you? And are all these tyrants gone, or are they flourishing? Are all the tyrants rounded up, arrested, and thrown in Gitmo, or are they flourishing? Are they hanging and executing these tyrants, or are they flourishing? But for some reason, the Q-tard crowd, and pretty much the right in general at this point, keeps pushing this "we're winning" narrative. And I'm probably going to have to just break this up into a part 2 and do another video because, I definitely have more to say on this, but, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point, like, I'm convinced most of the right is controlled opposition. And it's like, I'm pretty sure they're just meant to keep anyone who actually wants to be free in check and basically subvert freedom. That I'm pretty sure that's the goal of any right-wing leader at this point. That they're all bought and paid for, or they're all part of the, globalist elite plan for globalism, and to keep their voters in check. And yeah, I mean, I'll probably do a whole separate video on that coming up, but yeah, I mean, and as far as that LA CCW holder goes, Kaz just did this video too about, I think it was called "We Are at War" or something like that, and he was saying, trying to be the law-abiding citizen, you can't be a law-abiding citizen in the land of the lawless, where the tyranny is the illegality. The tyrants are the ones going against the law. They're committing civil rights abuses and violations on the daily. Anyone who tries to deprive you of your Second Amendment is breaking the law. But they make the law you trying to exercise your Second Amendment. So that's the problem, and that's what we're facing. And I also saw a post from Freedom Inc., and I'll leave it here. But he said a male who believes another male has power to rule over him isn't a man at all. That's a bitch. And a man who complies because he fears the consequences of his non-compliance, you got it, is a bitch. And any male who loves to be oppressed so much that he supports his oppressors is a bitch. So on that note, you know what I always say, we are on our own. Get right with God, because only God can save you. Freedom fighters out.